Welcome to another Unwinding with Fiber and Fabrics. A few years ago, I decided I wanted to make a knitted triangular shawl. A lot of people were making them at the time. Some were calling them peasant shawls, some were calling them prayer shawls. Either way, they looked comfortable. They looked like the perfect thing to wrap up in when you just needed that little extra warmth. What I was hoping for was to make something that was large and squishy and I could just totally wrap myself in when I didn't feel well. There are a lot of times when I go out and about and I have to sit in an air-conditioned room, and the air conditioning, it causes my skin to hurt. A good strong breeze can do this as well, and it's amazing how if I just wrap a shawl around me, I feel better and I can go about my day as everybody else does, with some semblance of comfort. So I decided I was going to make this shawl. I had made some sweaters. I'd definitely been spinning for a while. I've been knitting for a very long time, but I hadn't made anything big project until that year. But the sweaters that I made, and I loved them to death, they were just too big and bulky. So the shawl seemed like a perfect solution to the problem that I had. Oh my goodness, what an absolutely wonderful project this was. I started by taking 3 ounces of wool from various bags of fleece that I had, and I spun it up. I spun it chunky, I spun it soft and squishy, and then as soon as it was spun, I started knitting. And as I would run out of one skein, I'd start the next skein. All the while telling myself that I just needed a soft and squishy shawl, and it didn't matter in the end how it looked, because it was just supposed to be something that would give me comfort when I didn't feel well. To my amazement, it turned out quite stunning, and I'll share a picture with you here or here. I was delighted. Other people were really impressed with how it turned out, and I had requests to make more. I'm not a fast knitter, so making them for my son, my daughter, making them for just, a couple additional ones for myself, that's about the speed of knitting I can do over a couple years' time. So when I was thinking about this shawl and how much comfort it's given me, and thinking about how I could inspire someone else to make them, I knew that there would be no way I could start a shawl and finish a shawl and record the process. But there is a method that I can share this shawl with you, and the instructions to make this shawl in a version that will work with the videos. And it is the mini triangular shawl. And here's the thing. This shawl is the exact same pattern as the big one. The difference is I stopped after 50 rows. Whereas with the big shawl, I continued knitting until it was big and huge and weighed 2 pounds and wraps around me, and it is just all sorts of comfort. So in this video, I will show you the mini shawl. And if you decide you want to make it bigger, just keep knitting. Word of note, this yarn is hand spun. It is a fingering weight yarn. Its fiber content is bamboo, merino, silk, and alpaca. It was a little bag of fluff that someone gave me at some point, I don't even remember when, and it made a tiny little skein that I couldn't figure out how I was ever going to use. Because of its interesting fiber content, I knew I couldn't blend it with something else and have it work as seamlessly as I prefer in my projects. And so I decided to make a little shawl. I even made myself some little shawl pins with some copper wire. I think this one is getting embedded into the shawl. Let me see if I can. Little tiny shawl pin with just twisted wire. I hope that you enjoy this project. I hope that it inspires you. And as I said, the only difference between itty bitty doll and big person is the number of rows I add. I hope you enjoy, and I hope this brings you some inspiration. I will include the pattern down below in the description. I should say, it will include the links to the pattern down below in the description. The pattern will be available on my blog and also in my Ravelry account. I will tell you more at the end of the video. Enjoy. I hope this video has inspired you to get those needles out and get knitting. Whether you make a shawl for a doll, for yourself, a loved one, or maybe someone who just needs a hug, I hope you take advantage of the free pattern that I will have linked in the description box below. It will be available on my blog post pithyponderings.com and also on my Ravelry page. I have so enjoyed bringing you this project this week. I hope that you'll hit like if you enjoyed it, and that you will consider subscribing if you would like to watch more videos like this. I have some wonderful projects planned because it is now fall, and fall means crafting. I can get back in my sewing room, it's not as hot, and I am really looking forward to bringing you more inspiration, more ways that you can unwind. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon in another Unwinding with Fiber and Fabric.